Thank you everyone for coming to listen to this talk today. A little bit different than the Diamond story we just heard. I'd also like to thank Red Cloud for their support. We were a late addition to the conference. One that was on the back end of a very successful financing that we ran with the help of Red Cloud. Today we're going to talk about Silver Viper Minerals. We're focused in eastern Sonora in Mexico. An older presentation. Okay. So what we have right here, this is our group. We're the Belterra Group. We have 4 public companies under our management right now. We have Marceli Minerals, Forex Minerals, Dolly Varden Silver, and Silver Viper, which was our newest company. We did our IPO on the company in 2017. We did that IPO at 25 cents. Core group of people that we have in our office, we have 4 senior geologists, each ends up taking the lead on one of our companies, and then we have Alex, Gary, and myself that focus more on the corporate development management side of the companies, and we have our in-house accounting team. I would put our group of geologists up against anyone else in the space. They've got over 150 years combined experience in the field. They've worked all over the world. This has allowed us to have relationships with the major miners. They respect our team and our experience that a lot of other juniors don't have. And that's reflected across a number of our companies. We've done JVs with Hecla, Coeur, Pan American, Agnico Eagle, Fresnillo in Mexico. So it's the respect from those majors that really hammers home what a good exploration team that we have. Yeah, and this is, I'm not sure what happened here, this is an old presentation, but the share structure has been updated since this one, and then we just completed a $4 million financing in the market. So the outstanding shares now are just under 60 million. We did that financing in 25 cents. It was oversubscribed. We originally went to the market looking for 3 million. We ended up capping it at 4 because we didn't want to dilute it any further and probably turn back at least an additional million, and more would have come in if we weren't telling people no. This story is a 50-50 gold silver story. It's got high grade, it's got historical drilling that we've seen that came from mine finders and Pan American. And what you see on that is the project we're talking about is the La Virginia project. You can see it on the map there in eastern Sonora. What it was this project was the #1 exploration asset in mine finders when they were acquired by Pan American in 2012 for $1.5 billion. They spent roughly $10 million on the project. They did over 50,000 meters of drilling, predominantly focused on one core area of the project. They never came out with a 43-101 resource, and in fact, they didn't even come out with all of the results from all of that drilling. Once Pan American took mine finders over, they deemed exploration results not material because they were a producing company. They were solely focused on the Dolores mine, and so of 188 holes that were drilled in the project, only the first 50 were released publicly. Once we got involved in 2018, we ended up releasing the highlights of the rest of that drilling, but we had access to the database and seen all that drilling before we did a deal, and it was one of the things that got us very excited. The other thing that got us very excited about this project is they had only been focused on a very small portion of the project. At the time, they didn't have any access to the northern half of the claims. They couldn't get land access agreements with a number of different ranchers, and they weren't really interested in spending the money that it costs to get those agreements in place. Mine Finders was throwing a lot bigger numbers around than we certainly do when it comes to just getting land access. I think they were paying each rancher $10,000 a year. When you have that many ranchers, that's not very appealing. By the time we got involved in 2018, one rancher had acquired the whole thing, and we have access with him for $4,000 a year to the whole northern half of the project. The project is about 4 hours east of Hermosillo on paved highway, and then the last half hour is along a dirt road. Very safe jurisdictions. One of the things that our group is focused on. You can look across our group of companies. We're in British Columbia, we're in Sweden, and we're in Durango and Sonora State in Mexico. There's a lot of states that we wouldn't probably focus on and we don't look at assets in. Sonora and Durango have rich mining history and are considered very safe jurisdictions. What mine finders did when they had acquired the La Virginia project is they had the Dolores mine running. They saw this large gap along the trend that had a number of other existing mines, and they said, we're going to find another Dolores. So they flew the whole mountain range deployed helicopters and settled on La Virginia, being the lookalike to the Dolores mine. So when we're doing the presentation, you'll see we'll refer to the internal claims, which is the Rujbia Esperanza group, and then the surrounding claims we call the Pan American claims. We own 100% of all those surrounding claims that we'll say in red, and we're earning to 100% of the blue claims. The bulk of all of the historic work was actually done within those internal blue claims. So it's just to scale here, you can see that it's a very large land package with lots of targets that has lots of potential for discovery, and while it had 50,000+ meters of drilling done on it, was focused on a very small area. This still has our old option agreement in it. We actually, you can see there on the second and last point, our original option on the earning on the internal claims was to $4.5 million total. We reduced that this year down to a total payments of $3 million, added a year, and back end loaded it. So over the next 3 years, we'll only be spending just over $300,000 on the earn-in on the initial claims. Then we have a large $2.5 million claim at the end of 2023 to complete the earn-in on the internal claims. To get the surrounding large Pan American package, we gave them a project-wide 2% NSR. And that gave us 100%, gave us access to all the data, gave us access to all the core for 180 that was stored in Hermosillo. So right now we're actually working on trying to start and do a maiden NI 43-101 resource on that historic work drilling. And then we'll also get into the discovery that we made in our first phase of drilling at the end of last year. The bulk of the historic work was actually done on the Las Guatas and Con Virginia area. You can see some of the black dots on that image are drill pads. The bulk of the resource will come from Las Guatas area, and again, that's a zoomed in portion of those internal claims. You can see some of the highlight hits from some of the other regional structures, but the bulk of the work was focused on Las Guatas. This summarizes the work by year that was done by mine finders and Pan American. The total of 52,635 meters. Again, this is just some samples of some of the historic work and the highlighted intercepts that were there. But you saw intercepts of 23 meters of 12 grams, 100 meters of a gram. You get these blowouts within the land area, and then it follows this north-south structural trend. The mineralization occurs along these silicified dikes adjacent to them, and then you get these flexures in the dikes, and that's where you get these blowouts that tend to produce the wider, thicker, high-grade material. This is more of the Las Guatas results. Probably hard to see on that image, but again, there you can see a 23.5 meters of 13.6 gold equivalent. Very high grade. There's a couple of old underground workings in that historic area. Again, this is from the Con Virginia area, but that's kind of shows you what it looks like. It's stockwork, mineralization, narrower, swarming of veins that comes together, and then you get these broader widths. You get lots of these veins. Just an example again of that historic area and where you kind of started to look at what it looks like underground, where the concentrations of mineralization are. On this map, you can see El Ruby. This is where we made our discovery. It was we put 5 holes into that target at the end of our first phase of drilling. The highlight hit there was 13.3 meters of almost 6.5 grams gold equivalent, or 700 silver, and again it was split about 50-50 between gold and silver. It was just over 3 grams gold and over 200 grams silver. All 5 holes into that target hit the zone of economic grades, and there was also some narrower, high-grade parallel zones that popped up that we're going to be following up on in our next phase of drilling. That's it for that presentation. That's a really old presentation, so I'm not sure where that came from. But anyways, like I said, we just completed a $4 million financing. It was oversubscribed. Our geologist is en route to site at the moment. We're going to begin drilling here in the next week or two. All of our drilling in this next phase is going to be in the valley where we made the discovery. That valley is, what was intriguing about it again is there was not even any sampling done in that valley. It sits 5 kilometers north of where that drilling was done at Las Guatas in Con Virginia. We did the first sampling. We've run a very broad sampling program since the drilling that was done at the end of last year. It's identified least 4 major new anomalies that we're going to be following up on, that we have discovery potentials on all of those, and we're going to be following up on where we made the discovery and starting to drill that along strike. We've identified 100 meters of strike length so far on those 5 holes. We're going to be stepping back and drilling underneath that, drilling along strike. Our sampling has showed that that discovery area has the potential to at least run for 2 kilometers to the north and 1 kilometer to the south, and that's where we're going to focus. So again, we're financed, we're our maiden resource potential, and we've got additional discovery potential. So it's a stock that's very primed to be able to go on a large jump, especially in this metals environment. We got, when the financing that we just completed, we had 90% of it was new shareholders that were coming in and participating. I know from talking with a number of institutions that in the financing they're doing, most of the financing has been done or only with existing shareholders. But because of the high-grade silver component to this story, there's been a lot of attention on this stock due to a lack of quality silver and gold assets at the exploration level out there in the market. So I think it's a very exciting time to get involved with our company. And I thank you for your time.